Hi, welcome to the first short lecture on Chapter 4. In this chapter, we're learning to distinguish between what a poem says and what it suggests. To do that, we're going to need to use two terms, denotation, which is the literal dictionary meaning of a word, and connotation, an association or additional meaning that a word, image, or phrase may carry apart from its literal dictionary meaning. So once again, we're seeing the value of using a dictionary, and I recommend, as I have before, using the OED, the Oxford English Dictionary, and you can access that through the Lane Library. I want to work with a very, very short poem, just 2 lines, to demonstrate the ways in which denotation and connotation and understanding those things can really enrich our understanding of the poem. Epitaph by Timothy Steele, as the title suggests, is an epitaph, which means that these are words written for someone who's died, and they're often written on the gravestone. Epitaph. Here lies Sir Tact, a diplomatic fellow, whose silence was not golden, but just yellow. We have a character in the poem, Sir Tact, and so immediately I want to go to the OED and look at the dictionary's definition of tact. Ready and delicate sense of what is fitting and proper in dealing with others, so as to avoid giving offense or win goodwill. Right? That's key, I think, for this poem, to avoid giving offense or win goodwill. It's really about a skill in negotiation and the ability to say or do the right thing at the right time. The poem is also alluding to the saying, silence is golden. But here we learn that with Sir Tact, silence was not golden. It was just yellow. So now I want to look in the OED and see what is the literal definition of golden, and then think about connotations that the word golden brings up. So the literal definition is just that it's a color intermediate between orange and green in the spectrum, or of the color of the yolk of an egg, ripe lemons, daffodils, sunflowers, etc. The connotations, though, include wealth and luxury. So think about gold itself, or golden jewelry, gold fixtures in a palace. And golden also connotes achievement and victory. Someone who's had a long distinguished career and retires might receive a gold watch. Someone who wins a race often receives a gold medal. But we know in the poem that Sir Tact's silence is not golden, it's yellow. And so now I want to see what is the denotation of yellow, and I find that it is exactly the same as the denotation of golden, that they're synonyms. So the connotation, if they mean the same thing literally, the connotation becomes very important. And in this case, the connotation of yellow is cowardly. So going back up to the epitaph, Sir Tact's silence was not golden, it was not valuable, it was cowardly. He was silent because he was afraid to speak up, if speaking up was going to give offense or not win him goodwill. And in that criticism, that we better understand because now we understand the literal and associative meaning of the key words, that criticism tells us that we are probably dealing with satiric poetry. And we learned about this in Chapter 2 when we were working with tone. Satiric poems blend criticism with humor to convey a message, usually through the use of irony and a tone of detached amusement, withering contempt, and implied superiority. So the play on the phrase silence is golden and the reverse of the meaning in this poem brings some of that tone of detached amusement. We've already seen that there's a criticism leveled at Sir Tact. But where's the irony in this poem? Well, I want to take a look at the first line. Here lies Sir Tact. Sir suggests an elevated status. Yet, quite literally, Sir Tact is not elevated, but is buried in the ground. Additionally, The word lies tells us that he lies in the ground, and yet it also suggests that Sir Tact doesn't tell the truth, that he might avoid telling the truth when telling the truth wouldn't be tactful. All of this deeper understanding of this very short poem comes to us because we've used the dictionary and we've determined the denotation and connotation of the keywords.